Hello, everyone. I am Maureen Turner. I am the Membership and Community Engagement Lead for the Halton Hills Chamber of Commerce. And today I am joined by James Franchak, Director of the Academy of Music here in Georgetown. Hello, James.
Hello, Maureen. How are you this morning?
I'm awesome. Thank you for joining me. How are you?
I'm doing just fine, and thank you for the opportunity.
No, my pleasure. I just wanted to touch base and say that the Academy of Music recently expanded in Georgetown, and you are now also in the space where Pinecone Music used to be. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, I'd love to. We've been in Georgetown for about 10 years. Our most recent location was at 400 Wall Street, just up the hill from Norval. We were running out of space. We only had 5 teaching rooms. And I had a conversation with Peter, the previous owner of Pinecone. He was at the point where he was ready to retire and slow down. He does have a little guitar shop in Acton called Black Rose Guitars, and it's a great little place. It's small, but he just seems very happy. He does a lot of great work. In fact, he does my own stuff. He changes my strings and works on my pickups and stuff.
Oh, that's awesome.
Really, really lovely, lovely man. And so he was ready to move on, and so we came to an agreement. His Pinecone studio had 10 teaching rooms, so it was perfect for us. We were running out of space. He was ready to retire, so we came to an agreement, and that was how it all came to be. So now we are at 460 Guelph Street in the Pinecone unit, and continuing to grow.
That was perfect for everybody.
Yeah, it worked out nice.
So tell me a little bit about the Academy of Music and what you do.
Sure. We offer private music lessons for most main instruments, so that's piano, guitar, voice, violin, drums, and ukulele. We offer the lessons 6 days a week in Georgetown.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, and we are actually available 7 days a week, which I suppose we can talk about in a couple of minutes. But Monday through Saturday, we actually have lessons from 3 o'clock in the afternoon until about 8:30 in the evening, and then all day Saturdays as well.
Amazing. So tell me what sets the Academy of Music apart from other music studios.
Yeah, no, that's a great question, and it might be a minute because I have a huge list of things that I think
Please
that we
tell
do
us.
that are amazing. One of the things, of course, is that we have all of those instruments available in one location. So if you're a family with multiple children, we like to try and get you together. If you have a piano child and a guitar child and a violin child, it's a lot nicer to come to the studio once per week and then have them all around the same time, as opposed to going to different lesson providers for all different instruments on different days. It's just considerably more convenient.
Yes.
So that's one of the things. We have a basic philosophy of trying to provide more opportunities for children, students, because of course we have all ages, but for students to set regular musical goals, and we do that a variety of ways. One of them is with recitals. Um, Most music programs or lesson providers do have a recital about once a year, and then that kind of signifies the end of the year. For us, that really wasn't enough, so we do 3 optional recitals every year. We do one in the winter, one in the spring, and then again another one in the summertime. We don't charge anything. That's another thing that's different about us. We do not charge for these recitals. So in December and in April, we actually rent the Mississauga Living Arts Center, which is a beautiful theater. And then so they have a very positive experience. We have a red carpet, so then they come in, they have the backdrop and the red carpet, and they get to
Oh,
look like
that's cool.
stars. Yeah, it's neat. You see a lot of parents and grandparents will come in and they'll bring in flowers for their children for the recital, and they get the pictures. It's a lovely thing. It's a super positive experience, and it's included in all of the pricing. So we don't charge for tickets. We don't charge participation fees or anything like that. Those are those two. The third one is in the summertime where we have a summer outdoor recital and a student appreciation day. So we're out there cooking up hamburgers and hot dogs and veggie burgers for those who want it. We have a bouncy castle and we have face painting. And then, of course, we have a recital going on all day. All of our students are welcome to join us that day and have a free lunch. And then if they want to perform, great. And if they're not comfortable with that, that's also fine. It's just one of the things that we do in order to say thank you. So that's the recitals part. Another thing we do is the musical ladder system. This is a reward system that's designed for students to set regular musical goals. So they will work on their material with their teacher every 3 months for the first 2 years of lessons. They will take a performance challenge in their lesson. And when they pass, they get really cool wristbands and certificates. And then at certain levels, they get trophies with their name on them. So at the
That's
6 month mark,
cool.
they get a small trophy. It is really cool. And then a year they get another trophy, 2 years they get another trophy, and as they continue to ascend, the trophies and rewards get bigger and a little more extravagant. So they're constantly working towards bigger and better goals.
A little
The objective,
motivation.
that's exactly right. The objective is to get them feeling great about music and always working towards the next thing and always trying to improve. In addition to that, we have a practice challenge program, which is really unique to us. When a parent signs their child up, see, I keep saying child, we do have adults, just so you know, about 15% of our students are adults, so it's not fair to say. And most of them do take advantage of the musical ladder and our practice challenge program. Practice challenge, the parent or student will check mark a box. There are 30 boxes. Every day the child practices. And at the end of it, they get a button. So there are 5 buttons, all one color. So we have a 16th note and a quarter note and an eighth note and a whole note, so on and so forth. So they have little notes and they're all one color. Every month or every 30 days, they get another button and they put it on their lanyard. And so they climb up to these 5 buttons. So when they get to the 150 days, if they can do that within a 6 month time frame, we also give them an awards medal to let them know that they made it. And then they go to the next level, which is the same buttons but a different color. So there's always opportunities to practice. And the kids are crazy. I think our students practice more than any other music students because they're just dying to get these buttons,
They
right?
want to get the buttons.
Get the buttons. And you know, it's amazing. It's such a powerful little thing. A 25-cent button is so powerful to a kid, and it gets them playing music. Of course, the more they play music, the better they get at it.
Right.
And the better they get, the more they love it. So it's it's amazing that way.
That's
A couple of other
fantastic.
things. Yeah, a couple of other things that I'd like to mention, if that's okay.
Please do.
Month-to-month lessons, we don't have any long-term commitments or packages. So when somebody registers for music lessons, they only need to let us know by partway through the month if they're not going to continue. So they're never obligated for more. It's kind of our job and our teacher's job to make sure that the students are consistently motivated. So we don't lock them in for 3 months or a year or anything like that. It's always month to month with no long-term commitments. And then, of course, the office staff. We do teach 6 days a week in Georgetown,
Hmm.
but I do have a couple of other locations that are open on Sundays as well. So we will forward the phones and we will have somebody available 7 days a week to answer your questions when you really need it. Things happen. Parent all of a sudden Sunday afternoon thinks, oh my goodness, I can't make my lesson this week because something's happened. Well, they can reach out to us and they can actually get a hold of a person and get their problem solved immediately instead of waiting 4 days or 5 days for somebody to reply to them.
That's fantastic. I know that that has happened to me myself. So it's
Yeah,
nice
you
to
know,
know
you
that
know,
there's going to be a human being on the other end of the line.
Yeah, and that's huge, especially in this day and age of technology where businesses seem to be answering their phone less.
Hmm.
We're trying to do the opposite. We're trying to be there as quickly as possible, live in person for our students.
That's fantastic. I did
Yeah,
want to bring up on your website, it mentions that you also have some safety measures in place. Do you want to tell us a bit about that?
yeah, absolutely. I'm a parent myself. I have a 15-year-old boy and an 11-year-old boy. Incidentally, they're both driving me crazy these days, but it's summertime, so that's normal. But safety is really important to families, and they want to know when you sign up somewhere and you take your children somewhere that they're going to be safe in their care. So we have 5 things on it's called a 5-point safety plan. I'm just going to look and reference my stuff here. The first one is that we have cameras in every teaching room and the lobby. They are recording all the time, and so that if there are any strange issues, so far, nothing's ever happened, thank goodness, and I hope it never does. But if for some reason it does, we do have camera footage in order to reinforce what we need. We have observation windows in every teaching room so that you can see the lessons going on at any given moment. We have office staff available at the location during all the teaching hours. So there's always somebody there, to come in and talk to if you have any issues at all. We have an open door policy, which invites all parents to come and sit in the lesson anytime they want to. They don't have to. A lot of our teachers do encourage the parents to come in the last 5 or 10 minutes of the class just so they can see what they're working on. But a lot of parents are not interested. They would rather just let their kid do their own thing. But other parents are very, very interested and they want to be in there all the time. Either way, it's perfectly fine with us. And all of our teachers have to have current vulnerable sector police checks. So that covers all of our 5 things that we make sure that when parents sign their children up with us, they know they're in good hands and we're taking the time and energy needed in order to protect their family.
Perfect. Keep your mind at
Yeah,
ease. Great.
yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So let's say somebody's watching this video and they're like, I need music lessons right now. How do they get a hold of you?
It's pretty easy. We're at musiclessonsgeorgetown.com. We can be reached at info@musiclessonsgeorgetown.com. We are on Facebook and Instagram as well, and you can direct message us and we will be able to answer you from there as well. You can also call 905-877-2770, and you can talk to a live person, probably. Sometimes it gets busy, but we don't take long to call back if we miss your call. So again, that's 905-877-2770 or musiclessonsgeorgetown.com.
Thank you so much for joining me today, James.
It's absolutely my pleasure. Thanks for having me, Maureen.